What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Systems, Philosophy, and Mental Models course. I am Nate Rose with AI for Indies, and today's lesson is on working up through layers of abstraction. This is where we start zooming out and thinking bigger. The entire history of computing is a story about abstraction climbing. Machine code gave way to assembly language. Assembly gave way to high-level programming languages. Those gave way to frameworks, then no-code tools, and now natural language. Each jump made the previous barrier irrelevant and opened the door to an entirely new population of builders. Each jump also stranded the people who stayed at the previous layer, doing work that the layer above them now handled automatically. AI is the latest and most dramatic version of that jump. The interface is now just language, which means the barrier is no longer technical at all, really. It's just cognitive. And the question it puts in front of every creator, every operator, every independent professional is the same question every previous abstraction jump put in front of the people it touched. Are you going to climb, or are you going to keep doing work the layer above you handles automatically? Most people enter AI at the same place, using it like a smarter search engine. Ask a question, get an answer. Draft an email, clean up a paragraph, one task, one output, and then you move on. That's a real starting point, but it's only the first rung. The second rung is where things shift. You stop bringing AI isolated tasks and you start bringing it problems. You're no longer asking it to execute, you're thinking with it. Strategy, architecture, decisions. You're using it as a thinking partner, not a tool that produces deliverables on command. The output isn't a finished thing. It's clarity, direction, a better way of framing what you're trying to build, etc. Now, the third rung is where the leverage really compounds. You take everything you learned from the first two, the workflows, the repeatable processes, the patterns in how you work, and you start building systems around them. The way you use AI as a task executor gets standardized. The way you use it as a thinking partner gets structured. Instead of showing up to each session from scratch, you have built scaffolding that makes every session faster, tighter, and more effective than the last. There's a reason that companies have organizational hierarchies. The CEO doesn't write the code, manage the calendar invites, or format the reports. Not because those things don't matter, but because the structure exists to protect the most valuable thinking from being consumed by the most granular execution. As a solo operator or small team, you don't have that structure by default. Every rung that you climb on the abstraction ladder is how you build it for yourself. Each layer of systems you put in place absorbs execution that would otherwise require your attention, and what rises to the surface is the work that only you can do. That work is fundamentally human. Creative conception, problem identification, conceptualization, judgment, taste. The granular stuff, like drafting an email, organizing a file, sending a follow-up, it's not meaningless, it's just a means to a greater end. But it does cost cognitive currency every time you do it manually, and that cost compounds invisibly across every working day. Systems do not eliminate that work, they just stop requiring your immediate presence for it. Each rung that you climb, the distance between having an idea and seeing it exist in the world gets shorter. Right now, for most creators, that distance is pretty long. It's filled with tool switching, manual steps, formatting, sending, organizing, following up. Every system that you build eats a piece of that distance. Every layer of abstraction you climb compresses it further. At the highest level, the gap between conceiving something and it being done is nearly zero. And that is not a productivity story, it's a creative freedom story. When execution becomes near instantaneous, you spend your time in pure conception mode. That is where the most valuable work actually lives, and where rethinking what's possible stops being an exercise and starts being the default mode that you operate in. Thank you for watching, and in the next module, we're going to dive into what systems are actually for. Can't wait to see you there. And if you want some additional resources and to see me yap about more things that I think about AI, systems, philosophy, creativity, etc., you can head over to the AI for Indies Skool community. We're going to be doing a lot of extra stuff there that you won't get on YouTube. And if you're already here, welcome.